How's it going, Gwent fans? King Blacktooth here again. We're going to be speculating on the promotion ability today. Now, we do know what it does. It promotes a non-hero into a hero card. But there's a lot of small nuances that we're not clear on because we haven't seen the actual much gameplay of it in practice. And I've got quite a lot of questions. Okay, how it affects the rest of the battlefield, how it affects cards that combo and stuff like that. And I saw a piece of video evidence today of a card being played with it, and it had some weird side effects. So I would very much enjoy your discussion on this subject. We have quite a few cards which we will be taking guesses at, inferring what the best, most likely thing will be based on video evidence and whether something is too powerful or not powerful enough and stuff like that. If you're a developer and you want to tell us what it does, then I'll be very, very happy about that. So promotion is where you get a non-hero card and you promote it into a hero card. Now, this means that it probably won't be affected by weather cards anymore. It won't be affected by Motivate, Commander's Horn, Mushrooms, can't be decoyed, you know, anything that comes along with being a hero card. Now, if I had an 6 strength Griffin and I promoted it into a hero 6 strength Griffin, it doesn't change the card, it's just putting the gold emblem on it, meaning that it can't be debuffed, buffed or removed and stuff, you know? You can't scorch it and stuff like that. So it doesn't change the card, it just turns it into all these... Basically, it's a static thing on the board now. So I'm going to have to do this in a weird way. We've got 3 cards to discuss and we've got some questions to discuss. I'll go through the questions first and then hopefully we'll answer them as we go through the cards because I'm going to be jumping around all over the place else. So the first question is, if I have a buffed minion, say that 6 strength Griffin, if I like double that to 12 and then I promote it, is it going to get reduced back down to 6 because that's its base strength and it can no longer be affected by Commander's Horn? Or is it going to stay at the strength it was at when I promoted it, which would be really nice? I'd really enjoy the secondary one. And we've seen some evidence of something actually like that, but we're not sure whether that's exactly what it does. There's 2 options. One is that it doesn't get reduced, after, so you can buff it up, and then promote it, and it'll stay there. But there's another alternative that it could have been, so we don't know if that's true or not. Now, I prefer it to be able to be buffed and buffed and buffed, and then promoted. And the reason for this is, it sounds powerful, but it's not like the opponent couldn't do anything about it. Like, if I can't do like Commander's Horn promotion, Commander's Horn promotion. I can't do that. I have to Commander's Horn it, so it's really high strength, and then it's the opponent's turn. So he could choose to scorch it at that point, and if he doesn't, it's a bit of a bluff game. Have I got promotion, or should I wait? If the opponent's got promotion, I should deal with it now. Same with weather effects. You can't, it stops you holding your weather effects till the end of the game, because if he's got promotion, it's not going to work. I really like the idea of buffing it up, and then the opponent's like, oh, do I deal with it now, or do I wait one more turn? But if I wait one more turn, he could promote it. You know, I like that. That sounds really cool to me. The second question I've got is regarding one of the 3 cards we've got. It's like a special card. Now, I don't know if that will affect a single card, whether it'll affect like the highest strength on the board, or whether it'll affect an entire row. And that's something we'll hopefully try and discuss. And then finally, we've seen in video evidence a promoted bond card and weird side effects that had. And so I've got some questions regarding that, but I might as well do that towards the end of the video when we get onto it. So the first card we've seen is the Redenian Elite. This is a 4 strength siege card. It's a troop card and belongs to Northern Realms. This is significant because Northern Realms can use a leader ability to copy troop cards, and that will come on to its ability in a moment. It's a muster and promotion card. So you place one down and it musters a second one from your deck or your hand. And if you've got 3 or more on the battlefield, it will turn them all to heroes. It will promote all of them. So obviously, it doesn't sound too great because 4, 8, 12, 16 strength is okay to get promoted. But if you can buff them to say 8 strength each, and then when they get promoted, they keep at 8 strength, they're a lot better. And so that comes on to the question of, will it keep the same strength? And this card answers no real questions. It's just one application of how promotion could be used. The second card is the promotion card. So this is a special card, much like Commander's Horn, Mushrooms, Scorch, weather effects, and all this other stuff, where you place it down and it just affects the battlefield, okay, in some way, and then it gets discarded. So the question I've got about this is, does it act on a single card? So you place it down and then you choose a card and that gets promoted. If that was the case, it doesn't sound too good. Obviously, the highest strength non-hero card we've got is probably 12 with Trollolo. You could maybe double that to 24 and then promote it. But whether that would be worth it, it's up to you. And that's providing it doesn't go back down to 12 like we discussed earlier. We've got no evidence of any special cards that just target single cards yet. Okay, so it's unlikely to be that one in my opinion. The other alternative is acts like a Scorch. It targets the highest strength cards on the board and all cards with equal strength and promotes them all to heroes. Now, I like that one probably the best because if I've got some 32 strength cards on the board and they're the highest, I could promote them and keep them safe at 32, providing they don't reduce. Okay, if they reduce, then it's good to play when your opponent has the highest strength, because then you reduce them back down to their rubbish strength. Okay, but if it keeps the strength, then it's good to use on your people to keep them high and stop them being scorched in the future. But like I mentioned, this is not as simple as I'm going to Commander's Horn them, now they're all 64 strength, and now I'm going to promote them. Bruh, you can't do anything about it. Because they can. So let's say you had 4 cards on the board, like Northern Realms, and they're all 16 strength. Now I could promote them now and save that 16 strength, and then they couldn't be buffed or nerfed from anything else. So that's secure for 16 strengths. Or I could say, I want a bit more strength. I could Commander's Horn them, and now they're all 32 strength. But now it's the opponent's turn. Is he going to scorch them? That's a deadly possibility, and that would be devastating to you. So it is a bit of a, has he got a Scorch? I don't think so. I've baited out 2 Scorches already, so he probably hasn't got a third one. So there's a lot of strategicness in this idea that, okay, I'm just going to be a bit greedy and put the Commander's Horn down, and then it's up to him. And he doesn't have to Scorch them. If the promotion card acts like a Scorch and targets the highest strength cards on the board, the opponent could try and aim to get the highest strength on the board, higher than 32. If he can get like 35 on the board, then you still can't use your promotion because you'll be promoting the opponent's side of the board, the opponent's cards. So it's a very, I like Scorch in combination with you can buff cards up and then promote them and they'll stay there. I like that a lot. The third way that it could work, this card, is that it buffs the entire row. And this would work as well. So you place it down and the entire row, whichever row you place it on, gets turned to heroes. So that sounds like really, really powerful. But there's a lot of negatives to it. I think a lot of people have a knee-jerk reaction, oh my god, you've turned the entire row to heroes, that's really powerful. But there is a negatives, and so the positives would be that they can no longer be reduced by weather effects. The question is whether, as we said before, can you buff them up and then promote them and they'll stay there, or will they go back down? Because monsters will want to get buffed by weather effects, but for the most part they won't get reduced by weather effects anymore. They can't be scorched, they can't be epidemic, and they can't be anti-morale thing where it's -2 from everyone on that row. So they're the 4 positives. You can't be really nerfed anymore after you've done it on that row. But the negatives, and there's quite a lot, it might even outweigh the positives, is that because it's a special card, it will probably work like Commander's Horn or Mushroom, where it places a glyph in that particular row. So you play promote and it places a glyph down. This glyph means that everything gets turned to heroes. The negative would be you can't Commander's Horn anymore in that row, or if you had a Commander's Horn there, you couldn't promote them. The same with Mushrooms, you couldn't use that anymore. You wouldn't be able to decoy them up anymore. You wouldn't be able to motivate them with +2. You wouldn't be able to alchemist them, double their strength, at least afterwards. And there's how would bonds work now? Would they go back down? We've got some evidence in the next section, which I will talk about. And is the transformation permanent? Because if it is, then you can't medic them out either. So there's a lot of bad things that can happen if you throw this in without strategically thinking about building a deck around it in any way. So you have to be very careful about that. So the third card that I saw it only being played in video evidence today is Shani. It's a hero card with medic and promotion effects. So what she does is she mediced a card out and then promoted it, but it had some weird side effects to it. Because the card she mediced out was a muster/bond card. So what actually happened was she mediced out the muster bond card, and that got placed onto the field, and then the muster activated, which pulled a second one out, and then the bond activated, and then she promoted the one that she'd pulled out. And what the result of that was is that she pulled it out, mustered, and then when they bonded from 2 strength to 4. And then she promoted that card, but it stayed as 4. There's 2 alternatives which could happen here, 2 things which could happen. One answers the question from the very beginning, is that you can buff a card up, and then when you promote it, it stays there. Because this got buffed up to 4 and then stayed there. But it's not necessarily guaranteed that this is what's happening. It could just be that bond cards will always work, no matter if they're hero or not. And the reason why this is a viable option, where Motivate is not, is because Motivate just adds +2 to everyone on the row, and heroes can't be affected. Whereas the bond just states, doubles the strength of anything with the same name. And because it's a hero card, it's still got the same name, so it still works, you know? What's happening is it's either getting buffed up and then stays where it is, which I really hope it is, or it's just that bonds always work. And if you put another bond down, it would still raise to 8 strength, which doesn't sound as likely, to be honest. I don't know why. I really started to feel like you can buff them up and then promote them and they'll stay there. That is the full promotion information that I have. Again, if you're a developer, let me know, and we'll talk about it. We're talking private about it. But thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to join in the discussion. So there's quite a lot of questions there, a lot of information we don't know, but I'm thinking that you will be able to buff them up and they'll stay there, or at least that's exactly what I'm hoping. I'm thinking the promotion card will, I'm hoping, act like a Scorch or do the entire row. I don't want it to just affect a single card. I feel that would be a bit too little. Scorch could affect a single card. Target the highest strength. I keep calling it Scorch, but it's not. Target the highest strength could affect just single card, or it could affect multiple cards, which is actually quite good, I think. Let me know what you think. I think I've talked for long enough now. Thanks for watching, everyone.